वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महन्निसं प्रभजतौ जीवार्थदौ जौ बुधा वंदे रूप सनातन रघु।
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada once again, and good to see everyone who's attending our weekly program, remembering Srila Prabhupada and his instructions. And I've been studying Ram Raghava, this diary. Of course, this is the fifth time in recent times that I've had an opportunity to read the diary. And the more you associate with the transcendental pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, the more you understand how to execute devotional service, Krishna consciousness, despite all the circumstances that arise in a person's life. And Prabhupada had very difficult circumstances to start his movement. And despite the difficulty, he overcame all the obstacles and was successful. So we're trying to somehow or other follow in his footsteps of example in our daily lives and stay focused on the mission of the human life, which is to serve Krishna and Prabhupada without any disturbance, because everything is disturbed. And we're going to go right away to the diary. Now, I apologize. I'm looking for the right way to get the light to photograph it these days, Ram Raghava. I'm not using any overhead light, so I'm just using natural light, but it seems that my flash is getting some distortion of the image. So I'll just read through it as we go along. I think everybody will be able to follow, and we're going to go to the this section. And this comments that I'm reading, we read on Wednesday, but I'm reading them again today just to get us in track with where Prabhupada's going with this conversation. And the opening comments are very interesting. It was all by chance, he says. It was all by chance. Now, this means all by chance, by the circumstances of Krishna intervening to help him. That's what chance means, not just luck, but actually Krishna guiding the entire pastime. I was for a few days guest at his father's place in Agra. So he's giving the background here of how he got the invitation to go to America. I did not know that his son is in America. So he was talking about his family. He was a little sorry that his eldest son went to America to study electric engineering, and he was entrapped by an English girl, and he married and settled there and did not come back in this way. So I took the opportunity that, why don't you ask your son to sponsor me? I wanted to go to America. So we know from the past history that Bhaktisiddhanta had given him this request to go preach in the Western-speaking countries. So that was in his mind, and there at this meeting it starts to manifest the opportunity. So I did not know how seriously he took it, but I simply told him that, why don't you ask your son to sponsor me for at least for 1 month? So very naive in a sense, that he's only requesting 1 month, because obviously 1 month goes by very fast. But as we will see as it unfolds, the 1 month turned into almost a year of him going for extensions and then getting permanent residence. So very interesting. But so honest. Prabhupada is being very honest in this further speech in September 9th, 1976. So a lot had transpired from there. I wanted to go to America, so I did not know how seriously he took it, but I simply told him, why don't you ask your son to sponsor me for at least 1 month? So I'm thinking of going to America. Then after 2-3 months, some documents came. I was receiving my letters in a postbox, and when I left Delhi, I used to keep my key of postbox with some nice bookseller, Atmaram. He was manager. So he opened that. He got the documents, that there is no objections to the certificate. So it's already unfolding according to Krishna's desire. And Prabhupada is simply carrying out the order. Sponsor and everything. I was out of Delhi. Then when I came back, I took it. So everything was there. The sheet from the Indian consulate, no objection certificate. Then I applied for a passport. In this way, I had to go. So Gopal was unknown to me, but his father was known to me. Then his agent got me on the bus. So on the bus went to Pennsylvania. So Prabhupada's speaking about his arrival on September 19th, and a person met him and took him to Butler, Pennsylvania. And Hari Sori asked Prabhupada in this conversation of 1966, he asked him, that's a long drive? And Prabhupada answers, yes, 9 hours on the bus. And I took a little chip rice and whatever I had with me. A very little facility, hardly any food even. If you've ever had chip rice, it's not much substance in it. So I got down from the ship about 1 o'clock. Then I had to wait for the bus till 5 o'clock. Then at 5 o'clock, the bus started. About 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to Pennsylvania. And just in front of the house, Gopal was standing with his car that was called van car, Harikesh station wagon. Excuse me. Station wagon, Prabhupada says. So he took my luggage. And from there, 30 miles off, the Butler County. So I went there. Then at night, he took my indistinct words here in the translation. The next day, he had many rooms in his apartment. He arranged for my stay at the YMCA nearby. That's interesting, eh? That Donald Trump was in Butler, Pennsylvania. And his song is YMCA, one of his theme songs. Hari, sorry, you never actually stayed with him then? Prabhupada, I was taking my meals there. Hari, sorry, and just keeping a room at the YMCA? YMCA. Prabhupada, because he had no room, so I was staying there. And Hari Sori asked him, and then he arranged programs, speaking programs. Prabhupada, his wife Sally, she was arranging, a very intelligent girl. They were at the same age, about 30. Gopal was more than 30, and I saw that she was feeding her child, one boy, meat powder, beef bouillon. So I do not know what is the name, but I asked. She said it's meat powder. That is the system. Hari, sorry. When they were very young and they can't eat solids. So Prabhupada says, yes, with hot water. Hari, sorry, yes, they have instant meals for children, all different kinds of things. So Prabhupada said, so Gopal was very much pleased that he could get some Indian chapatis like this. So Prabhupada's referring to them trying to take care of him by arranging some chapatis for him, which is more of his rice dal and chapati diet. So you had to cook for him? You took your cooker with you? Is that the same one? Prabhupada has a special cooker. Hopefully we can show you the picture of that, where he could cook the rice, the sabji, and dal in one stack. So I lived with them for 21 days. Then I came to New York. Hari Sori, yes, that picture in the Butler Eagle, it's in the Vyas Puja book this year. Prabhupada says, yes, Butler County, it is good. There are many churches. People have got so many churches. Sometime that one piece of wire lying in one place, one piece of bamboo was lying in another place, and one dry shell of squash was lying. So one intelligent man collected so that this shell became the tampuras. What's it called? Hari Sori, I don't know, like a sound chamber? What do you call it? Sound chamber, Prabhupada says, may be called. So with the dry squash, he made the sound chamber. The bamboo he fixed up, and the wire upon it, then it became a tin sound. Our organization is like that. So there's an analogy here to explain working together cooperatively. I was loitering in the street. Someone was over there, somebody was there, not combined together. International Society of the String Band. Yes, separately, we are all useless. Eh? So this is a very profound explanation of how to work together cooperatively despite circumstances. But when you separate, when you divide like this, then we become useless. Very prophetic, reading this. And everyone here should learn that. These are not just words. This is the Vani incarnation of Prabhupada telling us in 2025 how to work together. Very important lesson here. And that's as far as we'll go today. We're going to trim up the program a bit because we have all these wonderful transcendental sections we want to share with people. And we're going to go to a Prabhupada lecture now, which is Trevor's first valuable section. Oh, look at that. There's the cooker. Look at that cooker. The 3-level cooker, you have to be expert with that. Isn't that beautiful? So Prabhupada was very agile in doing many things at once, just like this cooker. Okay, and do you have another poster you want to put up of our Bhagavatam, or are you going to go right to the lecture, Ram Raghava?
I can share the poster. Here it is.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everyone that we undertook a big project a few years ago. I created the project with Ron Singh to print the Delhi Bhagavatams with PDA, the Prabhupada Disciples Association. And I wanted to read this because it's important that we remember to follow this plan that was put in place by us, despite all the difficulties that come upon us. We don't want to disturb this distribution of the Bhagavatam. Bring home today the historic Delhi edition of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3-volume set, an unparalleled spiritual treasure. Yes, it is. And limited edition, by the way, everyone. Rediscover the original teachings now, first ever English publication by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Rare Collector's Editions, published in Delhi between 62 and 65, before ISKCON was founded. And you can order these books through Ron Singh or myself and other members of our group. And we have a new package of books. I think we have the poster of it. It's for $108 if people want to buy it. And it shows all the small books that we also have available for distribution. I think you got the poster, didn't you, Rama? From us. Have you got the poster?
I think so.
Yeah, you do. It's a beautiful program that Ron Singh started, where we have all the small books plus the Bhagavatams for $108 for people that don't have them yet.
I'll see if I can find it by the end of the program today.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move forward with the Prabhupada lecture. Haribol.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam.
If you want really happiness, if you want to real goodness, then you try to become Krishna conscious. That will make you real happy. Otherwise, if you are simply disturbed by this material condition, na sato vidyate bhava, na bhava vidyate sata, ubhayorapi drishta अंतर तनयो तत्वदर्शी भी. Tattvadarshi भी, those who have seen the absolute truth, or those who have realized the absolute truth, they have concluded that the matter has no permanent existence and spirit, soul, has no annihilation. These two things should be understood. Asata. Asata means material. Nasata vidyate bhava. Asat, anything asat. Anything in the material world, that is asat. Asat means will not exist. Temporary. So you cannot expect permanent happiness in temporary world. That is not possible. But they are trying to become happy. So many plan-making commission, utopia, but actually there is no happiness. So many commissions. But as Tattvadarshi, they know, Tattvadarshi, one has seen or has realized the absolute truth. He knows that in the material world there cannot be any happiness. This conclusion should be made. This is simply phantasmagoria, if you want to become happy in this material world. But people have become so foolish, especially at the present day. They are simply making plan on this material world, how they will become happy. We are practically seeing what is in our country. It is far, far behind material civilization. In America, there are so many motor cars. Every third man or second man has got a car. We are poor men. We are sannyasis, brahmachari. Still in each temple we have got 4 or 5 cars. In each temple. Very nice car. Such car even ministers in India cannot imagine. You see? Nice cars. So, they have got so many cars. But the problem is that always they are engaged in making roads, flyways, one after another, one after another. It has come to this stage, 4 or 5. 4 or 5 storied roads. So, how we can become happy? Therefore, Tattvadarshi bhi, na asatas, you cannot become permanently happy in this material life. That is not possible. So, don't waste your time to become happy here. In another place it is said, padang padang jad vipadang na tesam. The same example can be given. In America, so many millions of people die of motor accident. How many? What is the statistic? You don't remember?
60,000 in use.
60,000? No, more than that, 60. So many people die of motor accident. So, some of our students, a few months ago, he died of motor accident. The motor accident dying in America is not very astonishment, because the motors are running at the speed of 70 miles, 80 miles, 90 miles, and not only one motor car, one after another, hundreds. And if one is little slow, immediately taga-tak.
Found a Ram Raghava time factor. People do not understand the time factor. For one who is born, death is certain. For one who has died, birth is certain. So people have to realize that time is our most valuable asset. And if we do not use our time intelligently, like for example here, there are 168 hours in the week. That's how much time you have. Now we gather together, we're trying to, for 1.5 hours, possibly 2 hours a week. So out of 168 hours, we spend 2 times 3, 6 hours. But we don't have time. Oh, sorry, I don't have time. I'm busy. Well, the material world is a place where people are looking for happiness and purpose, but unless they take the time to take shelter of hearing from Krishna and Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation, it'll be difficult for them to find peace of mind. That's the idea. You take association with devotees in order to get the opportunity to stay focused on Krishna consciousness. And we've spent, all of us, much time in serving. Myself, I've spent thousands and thousands of hours of time serving Prabhupada. And it's a good use of time. My parents used to tell me, you're wasting your time. That's what you're doing. You're wasting your life. And in retrospect, at this age, it's proven that I didn't waste any time. And the more time that you engage yourself in Krishna's service, in Prabhupada's mission, the more successful you'll be in the human form of life, not after the pursuit of making money. Everything. And I speak to my friends about this. I'm cultivating in this area of the world. Everything is ephemeral. That's the key word of the day. In a constant state of change. That's it. But this is the nature of material life. And not only change of circumstance, change of body. In other words, the time factor is affecting us. So how we looked 20 years ago is not the way we look now, because time is affecting us. But Krishna consciousness is transcendental. The activities of devotional service are transcendental to the material circumstances that we're in. And everyone's making, I'm going, this speech this morning Prabhupada gave, everyone's living in what's called phantasmagoria. Yes. You think you're going to be here for a long time. Just like this year, I had one of my friends die in front of my eyes. Now, he made no plans, Ram Raghava. He made no plans to die. In fact, he was thinking, I'll live to 96. He used to tell me that, oh, I'll be fine, I'll recover. And of course, we were hoping that he would, Gopal, recover, but he didn't. And I witnessed his departure right in front of my eyes. And I have pictures of it, the last moments of his manifested presence in that body. But it was a lesson for me about the time factor, that everybody must die. And while we're here, you have to use your time to hear from Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. And we're going to go to this next section of our program, which is the Bhagavad Gita reading. And thank you, Ram Raghava, for taking this time to do it. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava
श्री गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shatashri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our founder and Acharya Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudev, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So these following prayers, I'm just going to recite the prayers and you can read the English translations so that we can move on with the class. Narayanang namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam deving saraswating vyasang tato jayam udirayet. And we will read the preliminary prayers, the Mangalacharanam from the Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I will read the text and purport, and then Vishwakarma Prabhu can give the class after that. So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, the 1972 edition, original unadulterated, unedited version of Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 14, text 14. Yada sattve pravriddhe tu pralayam yati dehabrit tadottama vidang lokan amalan pratipadyate. Yada, when, sattve, mode of goodness, pravriddhe, in development, tu, but, pralayam, dissolution, yati, goes, dehabrit, embodied, tada, at that time, Uttama Vidam, of the great sages, Lokan, the planets, Amalan, pure, Patipadyate attains. Translation. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One in goodness attains higher planetary systems like Brahmaloka or Janaloka, and there enjoys godly happiness. The word Amalan is significant. It means free from the modes of passion and ignorance. There are impurities in the material world, but the mode of goodness is the purest form of existence in the material world. There are different kinds of planets for different kinds of living entities. Those who die in the mode of goodness are elevated to the planets where great sages and great devotees live. Vishwakarma Prabhu, since this was a short purport, can I go ahead and read the next verse too?
Yes, that'll be better because it describes those who die in the mode of passion and those that die in the mode of ignorance as well. So it covers all three areas. Go ahead.
Okay, and I'll after that I will read the Om Jnana prayers, and then you can talk. I'm going to put you on mute so that we don't get feedback while I'm reading. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praleenastamasi murajonishu jayate. Rajasi in passion, pralayam dissolution, gatva attaining, karma sangishu in the association of fruitive activities, jayate takes birth, tatha thereafter, pralinaha being dissolved, tamasi in ignorance, mudha animal, yonishu species, jayate take birth. Translation. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities, and when he dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Some people have the impression that when the soul reaches the platform of human life, it never goes down again. This is incorrect. According to this verse, if one develops the mode of ignorance, after his death, he is degraded to the animal form of life. From there, one has to again elevate himself by evolutionary process to come again to the human form of life. Therefore, those who are actually serious about human life should take to the mode of goodness and in good association transcend the modes and become situated in Krishna consciousness. This is the aim of human life. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that the human being will again attain to the human status. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhagavad Vandana Khadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkarya Vyuktam Kharatehi Visheshataha Adadana Dantair Idang Yache Punaha Punaha Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhuli Shyam Janma Janmani Angsho Bhagavato Asmi Aham Sadadaso Asmi Sarvatha Tat Kripa Pekshako Nityang Tat Preshtasad Karomi Swam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Yes, very interesting sections of the Gita here. Describing here, very interestingly, in the purport, there are different kinds of planets for different kinds of living entities. Now, we know in the Shastras there are 8,400,000 different species of life. Now, someone could say, I never heard of this before. And it's true. Before Prabhupada came here, especially people in the West had no knowledge of the species of life, how many human species of life there were or are. Because Prabhupada brought us transcendental knowledge from Vedic teachings without any adulteration. And there's a controversy currently appearing in social media about the travel to the moon. And there are so many different so-called astronauts claiming that they went to the moon, and others are claiming they didn't go to the moon, it's a hoax. But what did Prabhupada tell us about that? They did not go to the moon, and that was a controversial statement he made that a lot of people questioned because they believed in modern science. They believed in the government, all these what we call fallible items in life. You can't believe them because they're speculating. That's what they're doing. And they think that there's only life on this planet. What a false ego statement to think that in entire universes, there's only human beings that exist on Earth and everything else is void. It's madness. But this is the small mind of the living entity, Ram Raghava. Prabhupada gives the example of the frog in the well. He's trying to estimate by his own experience the length and breadth of the universe. And he can't figure it out because he has no experience. Only experience of living a frog in a well. So this is the small mind of the living entity. And in order to get out of the material world, one has to be trained by a bona fide spiritual master how to transcend material activities in the form of the mode of goodness, material goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. And Krishna consciousness is neither of those, of any of those. Because we are acting in Krishna consciousness when we serve Krishna in bhakti yoga, which is called transcendental goodness. So philanthropic work for people that do not understand bhakti yoga is also entangling. You can be a philanthropist. You can be focused on helping others as a humanitarian. You can do these things, but the highest welfare work is none of those. Feeding people and setting up hospitals and carrying on and work in that mode of what we call goodness. Because the real welfare work of the devotee is to understand we're not the body, that we're the spirit soul, that we're the servant of God, of Krishna. And this material world is simply a phantasmagoria, and it's bound by the ropes of the modes of nature, Ram Raghava, goodness, passion, and ignorance. How to understand that? How do you understand that? By the practice of bhakti yoga, which is transcendental to this material world. And Prabhupada said, if you chant Hare Krishna, you'll understand everything. Because Krishna and his name and his form are non-different. And this will bring you to the platform of spiritual realization by practice. So the modes of nature are very difficult to overcome. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Very difficult. And we see that in the material world. People are bound by these ropes. And they're bewildered. They think they're a particular designation. And especially the modern nations that we see operating, they're all in the mode of passion and violence. Wars going on constantly by one faction against the other. Everybody is fighting everyone. That's the material world. That's entanglement. That's a phantasmagoria, because you think, oh, I'm a particular nationality, I'm a particular person in the material world, and I'm so important. Just like nationalism, where people are, the most important people are the people in my country, and I'm the best country. This is a mistake. This is an illusion. So people that are involved in these things, here, when one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth amongst those engaged in fruitive activities. Where? Do you think it's automatic you're going to take birth in the human form? No, it's not automatic. It's possible that you can get the mercy of Krishna and get a human birth, but if you commit sins on the strength of chanting, then you can be punished. That's up to Krishna's discrimination. But there is birth on other planets. There is birth in other species of life. There is punishment for those that misuse the human form of life for personal sense gratification, for personal self-aggrandizement, for personal gain, for money and fame. So, this Bhagavad Gita, these instructions of Krishna and the Srimad Bhagavatam, these verses give us an insight that we have never had before, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's a very interesting experience, isn't it? Especially when you march every day with other people and you see what goes on. And you're hearing Prabhupada explain the truth to us. We try to practice the philosophy so that we can get a deeper understanding of this opportunity to get out of the material world by realization, not by words. A lot of people speak. They do. But their words are shallow because their personal activities demonstrate a true lack of understanding of this philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They lack understanding. And it becomes self-evident when you see what they do. A man can be revealed by his actions, not simply by his words. Words are cheap. They're very cheap. And in most cases, Ram Raghava, people use words for manipulating others, like a cult. Cults are very dangerous. Yes. They use the term brainwashing. What does brainwash mean? Manipulation by a charismatic leader for the personal purposes of the individual, not for the purposes of spreading a religious movement according to Prabhupada's teachings. Super dangerous. And I had the experience of dealing with a fellow, Ted Patrick. Now, Ted Patrick if for some of you, you may not know, but in America, he was against cults. And he would say, oh, these people, these charismatic leaders, they manipulate people by food deprivation. They tell you you can't eat meat, therefore you're undernourished. And you become weak-minded. He would argue like this, it's sleep deprivation, Ram Raghava. Well, these people only sleep 6 hours a day. It's totally not true. And it was a question of discipline. I have a friend of mine, he's best friends with Mark Wahlberg, as a famous actor. He speaks to Mark every day. And Mark gets up every day at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. He's not brainwashed. Is anybody saying that Mark Wahlberg is brainwashed because he gets up early? Well, in the same way, Prabhupada taught us about the Brahma Muhurta hour, where people rise early in the morning and practice spiritual life as a discipline for becoming Krishna conscious by chanting your rounds, hearing the philosophy. It was very rigorous in the early days of the movement. It was very rigorous, the disciplining. Nowadays, people are on their own, and they create their own schedules and their own, purposes. So, rising above the mode of ignorance, rising above the mode of passion, and rising above the mode of material goodness through bhakti yoga is a source of realization and revelation to the devotees of the Lord. And this is the system that we follow, to take shelter of Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation. And, that's the idea of the direction of the new program that we've created. It's not political. It's transcendental. And the more we hear from Prabhupada and the more that we associate with like-minded devotees, the better we'll be, and it's the best use of our time. So thank you very much, everyone. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And this section, next section, is Ron Singh has selected another letter for us from Prabhupada's 7,000 letters. And a lot of us are not familiar with Prabhupada's personal letters, and we wanted to introduce this into the program and not read from other people's so-called letters. Haribo. Let's go ahead. Ron Singh.
Okay, so this is a beautiful letter. Vishwakarma, you got to mute yourself. Your microphone is acting up. Okay, so this is a beautiful letter from Srila Prabhupada to Karandara. Karandara Prabhu was one of the early devotees who helped set up temples in Los Angeles. And incidentally, he was one of the original BBT trustee, and then later became a Buddhist after Srila Prabhupada's unmanifest pastimes. So in this letter, Srila Prabhupada is giving the overall instructions on how the managers, the devotees should conduct themselves and how to teach others and what is the responsibility of the leaders. So I'll read now. I am little observing now, especially in your country, that our men are losing their enthusiasm for spreading on our programs of Krishna consciousness movement. Otherwise, why so many letters of problems are coming? Dissatisfied? That is not a very good sign. The whole problems, they are not following the regulated principles. That I can detect. Without this, enthusiasm will be lacking. Even mechanically following, and if he gets gradually understanding from the classes, he will come to the point of spontaneous enthusiasm. This spontaneous, loving, devotional service is not so easy matter. But if one sticks strictly to the rules and regulations like rising early, chanting 16 rounds, chanting Gayatri, keeping always clean, then his enthusiasm will grow more and more. And if there is also patience and determination, one day he will come to the platform of spontaneous devotion. Then his life will be perfect. All of this I have told you in the nectar of devotion. So I do not think the leaders are themselves following, nor they are seeing the others are following strictly. That must be rectified at once. Each center remain independent, that's all right. But the president and the other officers must themselves follow and see the others are following the regulated principles carefully and giving them good instruction so they may understand nicely why this tapasya is necessary. And GBC and sannyasis will travel and see the officers are doing this. And if they observe anything lowering of the standard, they must reform and advise. Or if there is some discrepancy, I shall remove it. Of course, if new men are coming, they may not be expected immediately to take our regulated principles cent%. Therefore, we should not be so anxious to induce them to live in the temple. Anyone who lives in the temple must agree, follow the rules and regulations without fail. So, if some new man moves in with us, he may become discouraged if he is forced in this way. Therefore, let them live outside and become gradually convinced in the classes why they should accept some austerity. Then they will live with us out of their own accord and follow nicely everything. It is very difficult to give up very quickly so many bad habits as you have got in your country. So educate them gradually. First, chanting, and do not be so much anxious to count up so many numbers of new devotees. If such devotees go away later, being too early forced, I want to see a few sincere devotees, not many devotees, not many false devotees or pretenders. So my point is that the regulated principles must be followed by everyone, otherwise the enthusiasm dwindles and they again think of sex and become restless, and so many problems are there. There is some symptom of missing the point. The point is to be engaged in doing something for Krishna. Never mind what is that job, but being so engaged in doing something very much satisfying to the devotees that he remains always enthusiastic. He will automatically follow the regulated principles because they are part of his occupational duty. By applying them practically as his occupational duty, he realizes the happy result of regulated principles. So the future of this Krishna consciousness movement is very bright. So long the managers remain vigilant and 16 rounds are being chanted by everyone without fail, they are all raising before 4 morning, attending Mangal Arati. Our leaders shall be careful not to kill the spirit of enthusiastic service, which is individual and spontaneous and voluntary. They should always try to generate some atmosphere of fresh challenge to the devotees, so they will agree enthusiastically to raise and meet it. That is the art of management, to draw out spontaneous loving spirit for sacrificing some energy for Krishna. But where are so many expert managers? All of us should become expert managers and preachers. We should not be very much after comforts and become complacent or self content. There, we have to go down a little bit. Okay. We should not be very much after comforts and become complacent or self contented. There there must always be some tapasya, strictly observing the regulated principles. Krishna consciousness movement must be always a challenge, a great achievement to be gained by voluntary desire to do it, and that will keep it healthy. So, you big managers now try to train up more and more some competent preachers and managers like yourself. Forget this centralizing and bureaucracy. So this is hoping this meets you in good health, your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So this is a long letter. We're just reading an excerpt of it where Srila Prabhupada is instructing Karandar, who was a manager and a leader in Los Angeles, on how one can advance in Krishna consciousness, how to manage, and how to bring out this spirit of loving devotional service, and how to help other devotees advance in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.
Very comprehensive explanation in this letter of how to practice devotional service. And it's reflective of the times back in the 70s more than nowadays. Things are so much different. Just in a few short years, things have changed dramatically. And look at what we're doing. We're creating programs online. Like years ago, it wasn't possible to do this because it was very expensive, first of all. And the technology wasn't there. But nowadays, it's much different. And we're able to go to different sections of Prabhupada's history through this use of technology, and get very deep insight in how to conduct ourselves cooperatively in service to him. So very interesting times we're in. And we're going to move forward with our next section of the program, which is the reading from the Krishna book. And we're reading, we'll read briefly in this, the introduction. I'm reading the Krishna book myself, Mother Ruchisha, as you know, right now. I'm at chapter 17 of the second volume. And very insightful understanding of the transcendental world through the words of Srila Prabhupada. It's like a window into the spiritual sky, and I thought it would be very important for us to hear it as a group in these short sessions that we have 3 times a week online. Very short, 6 hours a week. Not 600, 6 hours. So we'll go to that. Where are we, Ram Raghava? We're going to have myself and Michael Dillon read after me a few paragraphs. So Maharaj Parikshit was very much appreciated Krishna's activities for many other reasons. Not only was he his grandfather saved by Krishna, but he himself also was saved by Krishna. At the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, all the members of the Kuru dynasties, both the sons and grandsons, on the side of Dhritarashtra, as well as those on the side of the Pandavas, died in the fighting. There was a tremendous amount of people killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Except the 5 Pandava brothers, everyone died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Parikshit was at that time within the womb of his mother. His father, Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, also died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and so Maharaj Parikshit was a posthumous child. When he was in the womb of his mother, a Brahmastra weapon was released by Ashwatthama to kill the child. When Maharaj Parikshit Maharaj's mother Uttara approached Krishna, seeing the danger of abortion, entered her womb as the supersoul and saved Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit's other name is Vishnurata because he was saved by Lord Vishnu himself while still within the womb. Thus, everyone in any condition of life should be interested in hearing about Krishna and his activities, because he is the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. He is all pervading. He is living within everyone's heart. And he is living as his universal form. God means, and Prabhu's means by definition, everything there is, that is Krishna. He is everything. And yet, as described, he appears as he is in the human society, just to invite one to his transcendental abode, back home, back to Godhead. Everyone should be interested in knowing about Krishna. Krishna means and includes everything. And this book is presented with this purpose, that people may know about Krishna and be perfectly benefited in this human form of life. Michael, could you carry on and read the next paragraph? Michael Dillon.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Baladeva is described as the son of Rohini, a wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, had 16 wives, and one of them was Rohini, the mother of Balarama. But Balarama is also described as the son of Devaki. So how could he be the son of both Devaki and Rohini? This was one of the questions put by Maharaj Pariksit to Sukadeva Goswami, and it will be answered in due course. Maharaj Pariksit also asked Sukadeva Goswami why Sri Krishna, just after his appearance as the son of Vasudeva, was immediately carried to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavana, Gokula. He also wanted to know what the activities of Lord Krishna were while he was in Vrindavana and while he was in Mathura. Besides that, he was especially inquisitive to know why Krishna killed his maternal uncle, Kamsa. Kamsa being the brother of his mother, who was a very intimate superior to Krishna. So how was it that he killed Kamsa? Also, you ask how many years Lord Krishna remained in human society, how many years he reigned over the kingdom of Dvaraka, and how many wives he accepted there. As a Satriya king is generally accustomed to accept more than one wife, therefore Maharaja Pariksit also inquired about his number of wives. The subject matter of this book of Sukadeva Goswami's answering of these and other questions asked by Maharaj Pariksit. The position of Maharaj Pariksit and Sukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Pariksit is the right person to hear about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. And Sukadeva Goswami is the right person to describe them. If such a fortunate combination is made possible, then Krishna Katha immediately becomes revealed, and people may benefit to the highest possible degree from such a conversation.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Michael. And we'll finish off this section of the preface in our next session. Very interesting. And so many details here. It's a science of self-realization. And it has to be forensically reviewed. We're going to move forward with our next section of the program. And this is the memories section from Siddhanta's series. He has over 400 devotees that have memories that he's posted online, and we're going to be reviewing them in our classes. So let's go to that now.
Okay, Prabhu, it'll just take me a few seconds to find it.
So detailed, everything, huh? Mother Chisha, so many different instructions. And if you have any questions, anybody, you can always call me on my line 289-244-4315, because there's a lot of details, these letters and sections. Here we are. Oh, that's myself and Sujan Devi Dasi.
The next time I saw him in Detroit was at the temple. He was doing initiations and giving classes. With my two children, I didn't want to go in the temple room because I was afraid that they might disturb Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. So I kind of parked myself just outside the door to the temple room so I could see Srila Prabhupada. And I just remember seeing him, like many devotees have said, taking his silver goblet and drinking that water without spilling a drop, just so regally, and then at one point I remember he had a sweater on and he took off that sweater, and it was just like everything he did was so graceful. There was no blundering or juggling or anything like that. He was just so very graceful. So those were my impressions from my first visit with Srila Prabhupada.
He came twice. He came in 1975 and he came in 1976 to see me. And I also had a private darshan with him in Mayapur, which I'll talk about. So there was a lot about that, because Prabhupada sent me a letter and told me after we got the building that this is a topmost triumph for Krishna that you got this building. Topmost triumph. And it was significant because Toronto is one of the major cities in North America and around the world now. And we bought the building. And that's a great story. That's quite an episode. Because when Prabhupada came in 75, he went and looked at the building. Jagadish and who else? Udama, I guess. They arranged, I was the vice president at the time. So they arranged the appointment for Prabhupada to go there. And we have some beautiful pictures of that. Prabhupada showing up, and the people were in shock. It was a famous building owned by the Missionary Alliance. It was a group in Toronto, and the building is on a main thoroughfare coming down from the biggest highway, 401, coming down into Toronto. So it was, people were very aware of this site. It was a big sensation. We got it in the city, and there's lots of pastimes that went on regards to legal affairs and all kinds of things where we were oppressed by people because we were a cult. And people, for example, I met Ted Patrick. I debated him at the University of Toronto. So that's a whole other episode. I'm not going to talk about that. But so the purchase of the building was a very significant thing for Prabhupada and for the city of Toronto.
So when we greeted Srila Prabhupada at the airport, there was one devotee who was going around and handing out these beautiful long-stemmed saffron roses to offer to Srila Prabhupada. So I got one of those from her, and when Srila Prabhupada, as he was walking by and everyone was offering obeisances, I stood up quickly and I offered him my rose, and I said, "All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada." And he took my rose and he looked me in the eyes and gave me that look, that look that everybody says, like, it's like a moment, but it seems like eternity. And he seems like he's seeing all your anarthas and all your contamination and all of that. And it felt, you almost want to, like that. But he just looked, and then, I mean, it was surely just a moment. And then he just said, "Thank you very much." And he walked on. And this was actually the only time I ever spoke to Srila Prabhupada, and the only time he ever spoke to me. But it was really something that I will never forget, because you can see you feel how the spiritual master really sees you and knows your heart. And there's a personal exchange there. It's not an impersonal philosophy. He knows our hearts and knows us.
Prabhupada memories, very interesting. And there's lots of them with our God brothers and sisters. And it's so good to see Sujan. I saw the picture of her sitting with her children. That was actually in Toronto on Gerrard Street before we got the big building in Avenue Road in Toronto. So I really like her section in this section of our group's meetings. And we're going to go forward here with the next lecture of Prabhupada. So let's roll that.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. So you study the life from the beginning of this body within the womb of the mother. It is simply trouble against my will. So many distresses are there. So many distresses there. Then as we grow, the distress grow. Distress is not diminished. Then Janma, then old age, then disease. So long you have got this body, the so-called scientists, they are manufacturing very effective medicine. Rediscovered, test not discovered, streptomycin, so many things. But they cannot stop disease. That is not possible, sir. You can manufacture so many high-class medicine to cure disease. That is not cure, temporary relief. But no scientist had discovered any medicine that you take this medicine and no more disease. That is not possible. You take this medicine, no more death. That is not possible. Therefore, those who are intelligent, they know it very well that this place is Dukkhalam Asasatam. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. It is a place for distress. So long you remain here, but we are so poor, we cannot realize, we accept this life is very pleasant, let me enjoy it. It is not pleasant at all. Seasonal changes, always. This distress or that distress, this disease or that disease, this uncomfortable, this anxiety. There are three kinds of distresses. Adhyatmic, Adhibhautik, Adhidvaivik. Adhyatmic means distresses pertaining to this body and the mind. And Adhidvaivik means distresses offered by material nature. All of a sudden there is earthquake. All of a sudden there is famine, there is scarcity of food, there is over rain, no rain, extreme heat, extreme winter, extreme cold. We have to go under these distresses, threefold. At least 1, 2 must be there. Still, we do not realize that this place is full of distress because I have got this material body. Therefore, a sane man's duty is how to stop the process of accepting this material body. This is intelligence. He should realize that I am always in distresses. And I am not this body, but I am put into this body. Therefore, right conclusion is that I am not this body. If somehow or other I can live without this body, then my distresses are over. This is common. That is possible. Therefore Krishna comes. Therefore God comes to give you the information that you are not this body. You are the soul, spirit soul. And because you are within this body, you are suffering so many distresses. Therefore Krishna advises that these distresses are due to this body. Try to understand. Why you are feeling pains and pleasure? It is due to the body. Therefore Buddha philosophy is also the same thing, that you finish this body. Nirvana. Nirvana. Nirvana means their philosophy is that your feelings of pain and pleasure, it is due to this body. They also accept.
It's constantly, Prabhupada is constantly giving us these reminders of who we are and where we are and how to get out of this prison house of material existence. It's very consoling, because without these answers, you have no answer. I was speaking to a friend of mine. I said, there's only 2 constants in life. She goes, what are they? Death and taxes. That's for sure. So how to get out of the material world is given, the secrets are given in these programs of the Vani incarnation. And we're going to go on with our next section, which is the 10 offenses.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8th, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
We'll move forward for the next section, which is the one round of japa together. Haribol.
अरे नहीं ना, जब जब तक ज्यादा नहा लेता तबीयत नहीं खराब हो जाता है ना, थोड़ा
Shri Radha
नो
Shivasadi
दैट
Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
नहीं ना,
Ram
ज्यादा
Ram
नहा
Hare
लेता
Hare
तबीयत नहीं खराब हो जाती
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
कैसा है दर्शन?
Ram Hare
क्या
Hare
है?
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna
थोड़ा
Krishna
नहलाइए बाबा, मैं आ रही हूँ।
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama, Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krish.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
We're going to have our Prabhu Ramaragava lead us in the Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha prayers, the prayers to other Vaishnavas. Haribo.
So let us take this opportunity to offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha vipa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Back to you, Vishwakarma Prabhu.
Thank you, everyone. Did you get that slide for the offering of the books? Did you find that? We'll show it tomorrow. We have a special program. We're offering a series of small books and the Srimad Bhagavatam in our logistics department.
It's in a text message from Ran Singh, Bhakti Ran Singh Prabhu in the text to everyone. But I didn't see a poster or anything for it.
Okay, we have a nice poster where it's on the PDA site online. That's a Facebook group page, and we have 24,000 members in that group. that are coming periodically to read quotes and see pictures and photos of Krishna consciousness historically and in the present. So thank you, everyone. Tomorrow will be Srimad Bhagavatam reading and discussion. And it's very interesting, Rochisha Devi Dasi, how quickly these classes go. It's already, time is up. So we're going to have the last sections guided by our friend and godbrother Ram Raghava. And we'll move forward with that. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.